Two things. Comedians don't appreciate their jokes being stolen, and Steve Harvey has rubbed several comedians the wrong way. Well, it looks like Harvey has found himself in some trouble again.
He wasn't playing. Mark Curry went straight for the jugular and didn't hold back.
So I had a beef on that. He had. And he did all my Halloween material.
He called out Steve Harvey in a bold move that's got everyone in the industry talking.
It happened to me. To do that, homeboy. Right. So, you made enough money. You made enough, why are you on my material?
And when Steve finally responded to the accusations, let's just say Curry wasn't buying a single word of it.
Still stealing his jokes.
Hey man, listen to me.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting sick of this right here.
Yeah.
Mark Curry need to grow. Been on stage since 2015.
He didn't know. He didn't steal your. So there's no need to. No one else has did that.
People who've been in the entertainment game for a while know exactly how shady things can get behind the scenes. The showbiz world is full of messy layers and comedy. That's a whole different battlefield. From people jacking jokes to stealing entire routines, it's cutthroat out there. And according to Curry, Steve didn't just cross the line, he leaped over it. Curry is putting Steve Harvey on full blast, accusing him of stealing his material. We're talking about a man who built a name for himself off humor, now being accused of lifting someone else's work. That's not just shady, it's career-threatening, especially for someone like Steve, whose whole image is about being real, inspirational, and self-made. Curry's throwing serious shade, suggesting that some of the very things fans loved about Harvey's stand-up might not have even been his to begin with. That's wild. In an industry where it's already tough to know what's authentic, this kind of drama hits hard. But what really makes it explosive? This isn't the first time Steve's name has been dragged into allegations like this. Over the years, he's been tangled in a few similar messes, and now people are starting to connect the dots. Curry's claims are just adding more heat to a fire that's been smoldering for a while. The question now is how much of Steve's legacy is really his, because if Curry's telling the truth, things could get ugly real quick. Could it actually be true? Is Steve Harvey not the flawless, wise life coach he's built himself up to be? We might be looking at a whole chapter of his rise to fame that somehow never made it into his best-selling books or motivational talks.
Whatever, yeah. Okay. Who took his show? Fucking Kelly Clarkson take your show.
Usually when someone throws around accusations in Hollywood, it's easy to dismiss them, especially when the person doing the accusing hasn't had much of a career to risk. But that's not the case here. Mark Curry is no struggling comedian looking for attention. He's a 90s legend. Curry isn't some random name trying to get clicks. This man was Mark Cooper from ABC's hit show Hung In with Mr. Cooper, was already a star back when most of today's celebs were still dreaming of getting their shot. With roots in stand-up, he earned his shine on stages across the world, selling out clubs and packing theaters with his electric energy and wild charisma. But now Curry isn't on a comedy tour, he's on a truth tour. And it looks like his first stop is calling out none other than Steve Harvey for being a straight-up joke snatcher. That's right, Curry is saying Steve didn't just get inspired by his material, he flat-out used it on national TV. Curry's not staying silent anymore. In two separate interviews, he exposed that Harvey allegedly took jokes right from his own act and recycled them on his shows. He didn't just imply it, he said it directly. A while back, during an appearance on Fox Soul's The Mike and Donnie Show, Curry opened up about the drama, saying he had major issues with Steve over what went down. In his own words, Steve stole my material on his show, so I had a beef. On that, it's not just some backstage gripe, it's being said out loud, on record, in front of the world. And when someone like Mark Curry talks, people listen, especially when he's calling out one of the biggest names in the game. Mark Curry didn't mince words when he said when he was on his Bulls *** T-Talk show, he did all of my Halloween material. One full Halloween. Yeah, he went there. In a bombshell video dropped by TMZ on Monday, Curry laid it all out loud and clear. He accused Steve Harvey of lifting his comedy material not just once.
Is that he used my material on both his platforms.
Yeah.
After I talked to him, I saw him at Def Jam, I went up and talked to him, I said, man, you're using my material.
And we're not talking about subtle similarities. Mark saying full-on copy-paste vibes. According to Curry, this isn't just hearsay. He confronted Steve directly about the joke theft years ago. But guess what? The joke jacking didn't stop. Curry told the TMZ crew that Harvey reused his stuff not just on the Steve Show, but also on Kids Say the Darndest Things. That's two national platforms where Curry claimed Steve served up his bits without giving credit or cutting a check. He didn't hold back. You're taking money out of my pocket, Curry said. You've made it. You're very wealthy. Stop using my material.
That Steve Harvey stole his Halloween bit because it was a personal story. He was talking about himself growing up.
That's a heavy statement coming from a fellow vet in the comedy game. Mark even recounted a face-to-face moment with Steve. He said, I saw him. I walked up and told him, baby, you using my material, you taking money out of my pocket. You made enough, you're rich. You don't need to be doing this to me. But instead of backing off, Corey says Steve used the same stuff again, this time on his kids' show, and people are definitely tuning into this mess. Some fans are actually siding with Corey. One person even said, "I feel his pain. I've been dealing with gameless people like that my whole life. I've seen Mark Curry live. He gave you your money's worth." And that last part, that hits hard, because this isn't the first time someone's put Steve Harvey's name next to controversy, and it might not be the last. Everybody ain't hating on him, so there's got to be some truth to what folks are saying about that dude. That's the word on the street. And Mark Curry clearly isn't alone in thinking Steve Harvey might not be as squeaky clean as he looks on camera. Mark was heated, really heated. Staring dead into the camera, he fired off, "Steve Harvey, stop using my material. Just call me and I'll tell you how to use my material." That wasn't a joke. That was straight up frustration boiling over. Then Mark took it even further, saying, "If you're going to steal someone's material, at least do it right." That line hit hard. And just before wrapping things up, Corey revealed he's gearing up to drop a comedy special of his own. No more silence. He's stepping back into the spotlight, and he's not holding back now. Considering Steve Harvey's entire image is built on being the wholesome, no-nonsense life guru, you know he didn't take kindly to all of this. He came back swinging. Steve flat out denied everything, said it was all lies, and claimed Curry couldn't even name a single joke that was supposedly stolen. "I'm getting sick of this right here," Steve snapped. "Mark Curry needs to grow up." He then hit back with, "Steve Harvey ain't been on a stage since 2015, talking about himself in third person like a heavyweight champ defending his title." When the interviewer brought up the little big shots joke accusation, Steve looked shocked. "Are you kidding me?" His voice got sharper and his tone ice cold. It was clear that the accusation touched a nerve. He kept pressing, saying, "Ask Mark Curry what joke he talking about." Steve didn't stop there. "Get a life. Get a career," he snapped. Then he doubled down, saying, "I've never stolen a joke in 35 years.
He confronted you about it before, and then even after that, he used it again.
Ain't said what joke it is. Get a life, get a career. Go do something, man."
So now it's a full-blown comedy war. Two seasoned vets, both with reputations to protect, but who's telling the truth? That's the million-dollar question that's got everyone watching. It looks like Mark Curry wasn't just talking, he came with receipts. And once he dropped that evidence, his beef with Steve Harvey hit a whole new level. Curry hopped on Instagram and dropped a now-deleted video that had fans shook. In the clip, he lined up one of his old episodes from his 90s sitcom Honian with Mr. Cooper and compared it to Steve Harvey's show. The topic, a Halloween joke, and the resemblance, way too close for comfort, in the Honian with Mr. Cooper episode. Mark joked about dressing up with a brown box to look like a UPS man for Halloween. Flash forward to a 2015 episode of the Steve Harvey show, and guess what? Steve delivered the exact same joke. "Every Halloween I had the same outfit on, just a brown box," Steve told the audience before calling himself a UPS guy. Sound familiar? Because it sure did to a lot of people watching. Fans didn't miss a beat, and they started rallying behind Mark. One supporter commented, "I believe everything Mark said about Steve. Mark Curry was always an original. He is truly a legend." And another added, "Mark is not the only comedian that's had problems with Steve Harvey. These complaints go way back before Steve even had a TV show." So while it might seem like folks are just piling on Steve, it's deeper than that. People genuinely respect Mark Curry, and when he speaks, they listen, especially when he backs it up with side-by-side proof. And the truth is looking a little shaky for Steve right now, because this isn't just one joke, one clip, or one moment. It's the pattern that's got people questioning how much of Steve's comedy is truly his own. And when someone like Curry, who's been in the game for decades, pulls out the archives, that's not just shade, that's straight-up exposure. Mark Curry's first step into the TV world came way back in 1980, playing Tim Barker in 6 episodes of the comedy. Sounding brass, but it wasn't until 1992 that he really caught fire when he landed the lead role as Mark Cooper in the hit family sports sitcom Hongin with Mr. Cooper. That show was a major game changer for him. Hongin with Mr. Cooper ran from 1992 to 1997, clocking in at 101 episodes and earning 2 awards from 9 nominations. It was a huge moment for Mark, especially considering he'd only made small appearances on screen up to that point. But this wasn't just any role. It was a primetime spot, and it delivered big. In its debut season, the show pulled in a massive 14.6 million viewers, and even tied in ratings with none other than The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That first season helped cement Curry's spot in the pop culture landscape of the 90s. The show did so well early on that ABC moved it to its legendary TGIF lineup, home to some of the most iconic sitcoms of the decade. But unfortunately, Hongin with Mr. Cooper couldn't hold on to that early magic. Behind-the-scenes changes like character swaps, new showrunners, and constant time slot shakeups took a toll. The series struggled to maintain a steady rhythm, and over time, the ratings dropped.
My man, what's it like to be on television?
And I tell him, I said, it's live. You know why? Because on television, you can do whatever you want to do. For example, if I wanted to thunder and lightning, I could do that. Watch.
By season 5, it was clear the show couldn't bounce back, and it was officially license after airing just 13 episodes at final season. Unlike other shows from the golden age of black sitcoms, Hung In with Mr. Cooper didn't quite leave the same lasting imprint. It was syndicated on networks like BET, Nickelodeon, and Paramount, and even hit streaming platforms like Hulu and Max. But it never reached that timeless classic status. The tough part, while Curry had a solid run, he didn't get that one breakout, a series that would carry his name across generations. And in Hollywood, that kind of long-lasting recognition can make all the difference.